601, head of the CDC, now endorsing Pfizer's COVID booster shot for tens of millions of Americans.
Yeah, Rhode Island leaders are telling 12 News the goal is to start administering those third doses this coming weekend. Kayla Fish joining us live in studio with who can receive one and where.
Well, Tom McCarthy, who leads the state's COVID response team, told me that they want to get these boosters out as quickly as possible. And now that they have CDC guidance, he says the goal would be to start giving out these third doses as soon as tomorrow. Overnight, the CDC director signed off on a series of booster recommendations, kicking off a new phase in the vaccination drive and paving the way for about 130,000 Rhode Islanders to start getting third doses, according to estimates from the Department of Health. Now, the CDC is recommending boosters for those age 65 and up, people ages 50 to 64 with underlying health conditions, and people 18 and older whose job puts them at high risk of exposure. That includes people who work in healthcare, prisons, or homeless shelters, for example. Now, according to RIDO's plan, boosters would be available at pharmacies, municipal clinics, and through primary care providers, as well as through targeted efforts in certain communities to meet people where they are.
I think that's been one of the most successful parts of this campaign, has been the engagement from our communities, our local leaders, our local emergency management officials, and our community organizers and leaders to reach Rhode Islanders, put those vaccines in people's paths.
Now, the CDC's decision only applies to people receiving the Pfizer shot. The agency has not authorized booster shots for the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Live in studio this morning, I'm Kayla Fish, 12 News.
Tens of thousands of Rhode Islanders could start to receive those COVID booster shots in the next few days.
The head of the CDC has now signed off on third doses of Pfizer's vaccine for certain groups. Kayla Fish has been tracking the latest developments, joins us live in studio this morning with more.
Well, experts say the focus remains on getting unvaccinated people their first doses of the vaccine. But overnight, the head of the CDC signed off on a series of recommendations from the agency's advisory panel, which clears the way for tens of millions of Americans to start receiving booster shots. Now, the CDC is recommending people ages 65 and up and older adults with underlying health conditions get a booster shot 6 months after their second shot of the Pfizer vaccine. The CDC director also recommended people who work in places that put them at high risk of exposure, like prisons or healthcare settings, for example, get a third dose as well. The leader of the state's COVID response team told me that once the CDC released its guidance, the goal would be to start administering the boosters this weekend. But the decision only applies to people who received Pfizer.
We'll be awaiting the guidance that comes out about those that had their initial doses with Moderna. We're also anticipating guidance some point in the near future about those that have been vaccinated with Johnson & Johnson. We know there was a study just released by Johnson & Johnson that showed strong efficacy with a second dose.
Now, McCarthy tells me he expects more guidance about boosters for Moderna and J&J to come out within the next several weeks. The state is also keeping an eye on Pfizer's efforts to get emergency use authorization for its shot to be used for kids ages 5 through 11. McCarthy says he's hopeful that the state can start vaccinating younger children by the end of October or early November. Live in studio this morning, I'm Kayla Fish, 12 News.